Hi, I'm Richard Dodson. I run a company called Artisan Digital. And our focus is really helping our clients find their best prospects online and get their offer right in front of them when they're looking for their type of work, right? And that's what you can do with digital marketing and digital search engine optimization. A lot of what we do in digital marketing is really helping people get onto page one of Google, right? You hear about it, SEO, and you hear all of this gobbledygook about what you need to do. But the truth is, it's powerful to be on page one of Google, right? Being on page two of Google is pretty much being invisible. It's like real estate. You got some pretty crappy real estate if you're on page 3 or 4. Nobody's going to wander by your storefront. But when you're on page one, people are looking, they find you, and it drives tons and tons of traffic. So what I'm excited about is I have partnered with some of the best SEOs in the world, and I'm not kidding. In fact, we have actually built a course called Ozone that teaches master SEOs and teaches people how to drive traffic to their Amazon listings, to their e-commerce listings, or to their storefronts, physical businesses. And that product is just beautiful. You're happy to have you in that program if you really want to learn the nuts and bolts of it. We have some of the best SEOs in the world that are members of that participate. And so we have a chance to just learn from really the best and the brightest. And my partner, Brad Mabry, is the one who put this system together. And I'm going to tell you about the system, not about the details of SEO, but why this system is so much more powerful than what other people are doing with SEO. So you might be under the impression that what the Google algorithm does is rank a website, right? I mean, that's the general idea, is you type in a search term for water damage in St. Paul, or for, some kind of trial attorney, Minnesota. I'm obviously from Minnesota, so I'm using examples. And what happens is the Google algorithm looks through every website and it figures out which is most relevant to be on page one. And so our job as digital marketers is to craft a website and all of the things around it so that it actually looks to the algorithm and is to the algorithm the most relevant site. And there are ways to do it. Now, it's not true anymore because, Google's always changing. It's not true that they rank just a website anymore. Well, Google is more sophisticated than that. They're really wanting to rank real people and real businesses. So it doesn't just look at a website, it looks at, are you a real business? Well, real businesses have what? Well, they have a Facebook page these days. They have a LinkedIn page. They have a Twitter account. They have, what else do they have? They often have a YouTube channel. They might have a Tumblr blog. They might, there's a lot of what's called Web 2.0 and social properties that people build to surround their core site. And Google knows it, so they look for that stuff. Now, you might have a lot of that already, but the trick is, how do you tie all of that together? So here's the beauty of what Brad has put together and what his system does. Our first step is really to build what we call an entity, which is not just a site, but it's an entity that ties all together. So Google can see that this LinkedIn account is connected to this Twitter account, that these things are interacting and talking to each other, so that if you post a blog on your Tumblr blog, it's also showing up on your LinkedIn, or it's showing up on your Facebook. And there's just magical ways to tie all of it together. And here's why we do it this way, is because while it makes a big entity, so Google can see it, because we got to create a big footprint for them to be able to say that's the most relevant site. But what also happens is all of those sites or all of those digital properties start to rank. Right? So instead of just trying to figure out how to juice up this one site, these things start to circulate and they'll get onto page 1, page 2, page 3, page 4, and ultimately onto page 1. And then we have multiple properties on page 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I mean, so all of these, you can have a Facebook page on page 1, plus your core website, plus a Yelp listing, plus a Maps listing, plus a YouTube channel, plus a YouTube video. So you could actually take all 10 if you wanted to. We have sites where we've got seven on a single page, or the first 3 listings. Now, what does that do for a business when somebody's Googling and they show up and their first 3 listings are for a specific business? Like, well, they must be the leader. And those are now, we've got many products and services that are ranked above, Walmart and Target and some of the big brands. So it makes it pretty clear that these businesses are pretty successful in being on page one. So this is the system that our ozone training teaches. It's the system that we use when we work with clients. And so we're not as interested in just ranking a site. We're interested in domination, right? We want to dominate page one. We want our clients to be wildly successful. And that the challenge that we face is we have to work with businesses that, well, one, that have a worthy product or service, right? I mean, this is powerful, right? We don't want to just rank anybody for money. We want to rank people we believe in and we enjoy working with. And we want to rank businesses that can scale. So because this traffic, it can be a lot. Moving from page 2 to the top of page 1, and that's where people are clicking. 78% of the people never even leave the first page of Google. They're going to pick something from there. So that's a little bit about Artisan Digital and our unique approach to search engine optimization and really getting people from questionable neighborhoods to the best neighborhood. And we know what difference it can make for a business, and we'd love to talk with you about it.